Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe has affirmed that there is no plan to lift the months-long ban on the export of raw macadamia nuts from the country. Kagwe revealed that the country earns more from exporting processed macadamia, maintaining that the ban will remain imposed to ensure farmers get competitive prices for their macadamia produce while providing better opportunities.
Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, Livestock and Development Mutahi Kagwe was today on a hot seat before the Senate to respond to questions raised by Kirinyaga Senator James Murangu on the current position of the government on the export of raw macadamia nut in shell from the country.
Waziri, inakuaje mkulima wa mahindi asurutishwe na serikali kuuza unga lazima asage mahindi? Bwana Waziri, inakuaje mkulima kahawa anapopeleka kahawa katika soko la kahawa, yeye haambiwi aende afanye roasting ama aende kupika ile kahawa iende kama imepikwa? Waziri, tuna haja na ngozi. Mpaka saa hii wafugaji utapata ya kwamba ukienda bandari ya Lamu bado wanaruhusiwa kuuza ng'ombe wakiwa hai na bado tunahitaji ngozi. Ikawa mkulima makadamia, mkulima wa korosho, mkulima wa mbigza na wapareto, hawa ndo walitongewa sheria hususan ya kuwafinya.
The country earns a lot more by exporting processed macadamia nuts than exporting in-shell, raw and processed macadamia. So in terms of the plans we have, whether we have got any plans to lift the ban on the export of raw macadamia nuts, to ensure that farmers get competitive prices for their produce from local processors and licensing exporters. Obviously, Mr. Speaker, it is in the ministry's interest that macadamia farmers are kept happy.
Kenya imposed the ban in November 2024 to deal with the problem of harvesting immature nuts and was extended by CS Kagwe on February 28 this year. The Association of Macadamia Farmers of Kenya have since complained of stalled macadamia produce worth over 1.8 billion shillings in stores and containers, even as their export licenses to China market are set to expire in July this year. Still responding to Senate questions was Cabinet Secretary for Water, Sanitation and Irrigation Eric Muga. His failure to respond to questions raised by Migori Senator educative to provide a list of landowners who granted wayleave for the Lower Kuja Irrigation Development Scheme in Nyatike Sub-County and indicate the respective amount due to each compensation got the House questioning the CS seriousness.
The question that came to the ministry did not capture the list, Honorable Senator. But Honorable Speaker, the question that came to the ministry is the question number 8 by Senator Eddie Okech. I read, MP on status of compensation of landowners who granted wayleave for the Lower Kuja Irrigation Development Project.
There is no list provided to this House of individuals who are called PAPs on this project, Mr. Speaker. And I think that, Mr. Speaker, my only conclusion can be that perhaps the CS is hiding from this House the fact that there are people who are displaced.
That's what you're saying. That actually he just read the covering letter, he did not read the annex that contains the questions, then he went ahead to answer questions based on the covering letter. Mr. Speaker, this is a demonstration of how casually this minister and this ministry treats this House.
Look at the response you have supplied to this House, Honorable CS, that you have consultants doing something in 2012. In 2012, telling you these are the parcels of land that are affected, these are the owners of the land, and this is the amount of money that is required to be paid. You send another consultant years later to do the exact same thing, Honorable Speaker. And then a third exercise to do the same thing. And when he asks the Senator for Migori, why is it taking so long? We are being told there is a verification process, the very same thing that was done in 2012.
Nevertheless, CS Muga is expected to appear before the Senate next week on Wednesday to give his submissions. Anyango Sylvia, KUTV.